Another Republican congressman's worst nightmare came true in their home district during a town hall they did today. We've seen all of these different clips around the country of Republicans being confronted to their faces about their support for Donald Trump, their loyalty to Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and this is no difference. Watching Republican Representative Mike Flood squirm as this brave woman stood up and confronted him for his support for Donald Trump is just too good. You can't miss it. Let's take a look at this clip, and we will discuss after.
Hi, I do want to thank you for actually doing a town hall, so thank you for that. The rest of it's probably not going to be so pleasant. So first of all, I do want to say shame. I want to say shame for your comment, your quote that you said, President Zelensky's approach today was disrespectful to President Trump and undermines the goal of bringing peace and that. So shame on that. But, second of all, I am the daughter, the niece, the sister of veterans, Korea veteran, Iraqi war. I have received the American Legion Auxiliary newsletter for quite a long time. For decades, they have stated that we are underfunded and understaffed, repeatedly stated that. You have said otherwise with Doge. Who's lying, them or you?
I love this woman. I think what she just did right there by taking it to his face is truly so brave. She got up in front of this entire crowd, of which the crowd loved her, and embarrassed her Republican congressman in front of everybody. Now just take a look at his response because it's so slimy and disingenuous.
We owe our veterans the best possible care we can afford. I'm going to say it again. It's a promise we made. It's a promise we'll keep. And it is important not just to Republicans. It's important to Democrats. It's important to independents. Supporting our military and supporting our veterans is something that should unite us as Americans, and I will work as your member of Congress to address that. I do believe that that White House meeting was a disaster, and I believe that President Zelensky should have signed that agreement. The other thing I believe is that you read from a press report, and in that same press report, I said 4 things. I said, number 1, Ukraine should give up no land to Russia. They should return the 20,000 kidnapped kids. We should support NATO, and we should have better relations with Ukraine. That has been my position on Ukraine from the start. Next question.
All right.
It's just so slimy. I mean, he's acting as if he really does support Ukraine and their independence, their sovereignty, yet he stands by Donald Trump, who does whatever Putin wants him to do, especially in relation to this war. And the idea that, like, the Republicans are working hard to protect our vets is so disingenuous, just blatantly false. Elon Musk and Donald Trump and Mike Flood and the Republican members of Congress are the people right now cutting funding for the VA, firing veterans from the federal government, cutting their jobs. That's what they're doing right now, and he has the audacity to stand in front of this crowd. Many of these folks have vets in their family, they're vets themselves, and lie directly to their faces. It's so disingenuous. And again, watching him squirm as she correctly points out his failures and the failures of the Republican Party is just so fantastic. And these clips, the one we're seeing, like this one that's going incredibly viral right now, are the reasons why Republicans are no longer holding in-person town halls, or at least they're being directed to not do that. The chair of the House GOP's campaign arm told Republican lawmakers to stop holding in-person town halls amid a wave of angry backlash over the cuts undertaken by Trump's administration and Doge. Representative Richard Hudson from North Carolina, Maga Republican, the NRCC chair, delivered the message inside a closed-door meeting of House Republicans, according to 3 people granted anonymity to describe the private remarks. They're just not interested in even engaging with people anymore because clips like this just happen almost every day at this point, where the Republican Party's talking points are just being dismantled by average, everyday Americans, Americans who are Democrats, Republicans, independents. Many of these people don't really sway in one political direction, but they can recognize recognize that what Trump is doing, what Elon Musk is doing, is wrong. It's very wrong and it's hurting people. And I think these town halls paint a broader story about society and how the American people are feeling about Donald Trump. Not only is Trump's approval rating cratering right now and going down by the day, but there's just been this cultural shift against Donald Trump in a variety of settings, whether it be just publicly or at concerts or at performances, whatever it might be. And we saw a perfect example of this recently at the Dropkick Murphys concert in Boston, where the lead singer, along with the band, just went on a minute rant against Donald Trump and really put him in his place. I think it's worthwhile watching. We talked about this the other day, but it's just so fantastic. You got to see it again.
Chinese fucking red that they all wear, and I think it's dye in their brains. You got the black on black Elon Musk true Nazi edition. And then my man here, he's getting ready for summer with a nice fucking light white one, all right? No, bro, listen, I admire your dedication, but I will ask everyone, if you're in a room full of people and you want to know who's in a cult, how do you know who's in a cult? They've been holding up a fucking hat the whole night to represent a president. This is America, there's no kings here! Anyway, do you mind, sir? We're gonna play a song about our grandparents and people who like fought Nazis in the war and shit, you know? So if you could just shut the fuck up for 5 minutes.
Oh man, it's just so good. And just like look at the dynamics here. This is a room of around 6,000 people. All of these people are cheering on the Dropkick Murphys band in condemning Donald Trump and pointing out the guy with the white MAGA hat in the crowd who's swinging it around to indicate his support for the cult leader. All of these people are calling him out. Again, a room full of people from a variety of different political beliefs. It's not like they just found a bunch of Democrats on the street and stuffed them in there. These are people from across the political spectrum saying, you know what, we are sick of Donald Trump. We don't stand for what he's doing with Doge and what Elon Musk is doing by accessing all of our private information. And in addition to this, I just have to show you this clip that the Dropkick Murphys lead singer Ken Casey did with Midas Touch recently, where he went after Donald Trump again in a perfect way. Just have a look.
One other thing Dropkick Murphys has always been about is like a lot of songs about standing with your friends and family and the things you believe in, whether it's politics or just how you were raised. And Donald Trump is the exact opposite of everything we sing about. You know, he's turned on his friends. He's turned on he's turned on America's friends and our allies. And he's a rat and a coward, you know, when you think of it that way. America shouldn't be turning on our allies, you know.
He's a rat and he's a coward. I couldn't have said it better myself. I think that is a really perfect way to describe Donald Trump, and I thank the Dropkick Murphys for publicly coming out against him when it feels like a lot of people won't. And the last example I want to show you of this is this kind of cultural shift against Donald Trump was the Grammys in February. I mean, all of these different superstars who have tremendous amounts of influence got up there on the stage, like Trevor Noah, who hosted it, and condemned Donald Trump, had different jokes, and were laughing at him. And all of us at home and folks who were watching the Grammys were laughing with them because Donald Trump is a disgrace. And I think you're starting to see even people who voted for Donald Trump because they wanted lower grocery prices, them even acknowledging and joining that train, saying, you know what, Donald Trump lied to us. He said he was going to do this. He's doing this instead. He's attempting at least to take full control of our government, and we don't stand with that. I think you're going to continue to see this cultural shift, a move away from Donald Trump at really rapid pace. If that wasn't already clear through his approval rating, it certainly should be clear through all these clips we're seeing at town halls and all these clips we're seeing from different concerts and public events. So listen, I just wanted to bring this story to you. I love that new clip of Republican Representative Mike Flood being confronted to his face. I'm always going to watch a clip and talk to you about a clip of Republicans getting embarrassed publicly. So I appreciate you watching. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Also drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about all of this. And of course, hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and we will talk soon.